Okay, so I believe we're gonna get into some spice pretty quick here, but I'll keep you here with me as long as I can. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Pow. Okay. Mm, mm. A wanna and a two. Oh, I gotta bring this up here. Not quite ready yet. Not quite ready yet. There we go. Good morning, Edith. Okay, I've got my spot. We're ready to rock. Let's go. Who the hell was this man? This wildly sexy yet arrogant hunk of a man who, fuck, I said the wrong words. We'll redo the whole thing. Who the hell was this man? This wildly sexy yet arrogant hunk of a guy who refused to take no for an answer. I certainly hadn't intended on meeting anyone today. I definitely hadn't planned on allowing anyone else to see me skate. In my wildest dreams, I wouldn't have wanted to be bothered by some Zamboni dude teasing me relentlessly, not only with a piece of heavy equipment, but also fucking what? Ben Riley, thank you for the like, appreciate it. But also with his laugh, and his lips, and his touch, and his thick bulge. Okay, oops, my mouth made a weird sound there. Okay, I was a woman after all, with needs that hadn't been satisfied in so very long. Not possible here because, oopsies, skipped a whole line. Long. I was uncertain I knew what to do. I was lightheaded with need. So much so, thinking clearly was obviously not a possible. Why did I add a word? I was lightheaded with need. So much so, thinking clearly was obviously not possible because here I was, eager to rip off his clothes. When he flew past me, his skating ability literally took my breath away. So maybe he'd lied a little and knew how to skate. But the way he'd gone out. Oopsies. Skate. But the way he'd gone all out to win me over was something I would have never expected in a million years. So when I was overcome by the need to kiss him, I went all out. What the hell? What could possibly happen after a single kiss? Right? After that, the next 30 minutes had been a blur, and still were. And why? Because we were both jogging toward my front door. I had my keys in my shaking hand, darting looks to the houses on either side of me to make certain no nosy neighbors, oopsies, side of me, to make certain my nosy neighbors weren't playing, fuck. I need a longer run up to that. I'm gonna redo the whole fucking thing. I had my keys in my, fuck. I had my keys in my shaking hand, darting looks to the houses on either side of me to make certain my nosy neighbors weren't paying any attention and hungering for the man to the point my pussy was throbbing. Who was I kidding? Okay, we're about ready to have to mute this. We got a little bit of time. I'll get you a couple of dirty words in here. Why not? This Friday, after all. Who was I kidding? I'd been wet, hot, and aching for over an hour. I could decide to hate him later, never admitting to a salacious sin, but right now, he wasn't getting out of my sight. What was wrong with the woman Oopsies. What was wrong with the woman taking what she wanted? What was wrong with the woman taking what she wanted? Not a damn thing. You need help? He asked. The mere whisper. I'm going to do that more whispery because it's a mere whisper. You need help? He asked. The mere whisper creating a different set of dark needs into my system. Yeah, there we go. I can do it. Then why was I breathless? As his hot breath. Oh, I messed up. Okay. Wickedly, welcome back. Did I put it on D&D? What do you mean, rejog my memory, please? Rejog my memory. Why was I breathless? As his hot breath cascaded across the back of my neck, I was unable to see straight and fought to get the key into the lock. 3 times it took before I was successful. Once I turned the key, he took over, placing his hand on mine and pushing open the door with enough force it was smashed against the wall. All I could think about was his, and I scrolled and fucked it up again. Okay, it's fine, hold on. Chicka-pow. Do not disturb for notifications. Hi. Here's a fun fact. It's always on that. Every single time. I don't take it off. I will miss your phone call. I will miss your text messages by hours depending on what I'm doing. It just stays like that. Thing hasn't made a sound in like 5 years. Thank you, though. All I could think about... Where the fuck am I? There it is. Let's scroll to the top. Let's give myself a little bit of runway here. All I could think about was how he'd handled the stranger, as if the man had dared touch what belonged to him. I said that weird. You'll be back. It's freezing on me. Oh, boo. 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 All right, yeah, we'll see in a sec. Okay, burps. As if the man had dared touch what belonged to him. Since when had a big He-Man Neanderthal move attracted me? Never before. Why now? Maybe for the same reason the desire for a stranger had reached a strangely evocative plateau. Once inside, we were standing too close to the door, fighting to close it behind us. I slapped my hand on the wall, trying to find the light switch. You bet I wanted the Good morning, Elizabeth. You bet I wanted the fuck. You bet I wanted the joy of seeing every single inch of him. I'd noticed the tattoo on his arm, gorgeous color trickling down his wrist to his hand. I longed to trace the design with my finger, but all the while he was lying fully clothed. Fucking what? But all while he was lying fully unclothed in my bed. My, wasn't I being a bad little girl? I bit my lower lip to keep from moaning, finally finding the switch. He spun around me, using his foot to drive the door closed. The night had taken a completely different turn, with him winning the event. Oh my god, I made a loud sound with my hand. He'd played me, the bastard, but I'd fallen into the moment. Yeah, we're gonna do that again. What's up, Pixie? He'd played me, the bastard. Oops, let's say it right. He'd played me, the bastard, but I'd fallen into the moment, even egging him on. But after the kiss on the ice, we'd barely made it to a bar not too far away from the arena where I lasted all of 1 drink. We'd tried to ignore the connection, a wild shot of electricity that kept my mind from possessing all the reasons. Processing's probably the word. Yep. Wow, 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 wow. We tried to ignore the connection, a wild shot of electricity that kept my mind processing all the reasons why a one night stand was a bad idea. While I was a bundle of nerves, he was Mr. Sophisticated, knowing exactly how to handle the situation. Ooh, I didn't go to my multi stream chat. Yikes. There we go. You quit making loud sounds, please? Thank you. Thankfully, I'd made him drive his own vehicle when coming to my house. The last thing I wanted was to be seen with him again at the arena. My decision had nothing to do with his career. Instead, I was thinking of mine. While there was nothing wrong with me dating, I'd already seen horrible social media posts from anonymous parents claiming horror at their children's teachers having any public romance. It was ridiculous, and I wanted no part of it. My private life was just that, private. Nobody's business. Plus, I didn't anticipate one night would lead to a long-term anything. He was an arrogant, self-centered man. That was easy to tell. But dear God, he was hot. Whew, baby. We were adults. We were attracted to each other. We were perfectly capable of making whatever decision we wanted to make, including involving wicked fornication. With the door finally secure, he laughed in a deep, growly voice before shoving me against the wall. Thankfully, I'd arrived in decent attire, the jeans skirt and t-shirt beating the bap out. Fuck! It works now. Welcome back, welcome back. I was worried it was choppy on my end because I started and stopped it really quick. I forgot to say that this was an adult-only TikTok, and they get mad quick. It was TikTok. All right. All right, let's try this again. Something about the wall. Here we go. Thankfully, I had arrived in decent attire, the jeans skirt and t-shirt beating the heck out of the cheap leotards and slouchy shirt I'd worn to try to stay warm. Danny pressed the full weight of his body against me, the twinkling light in his eyes luminous. I never knew the dull 40-watt bulb could provide such an incredible backdrop for a man's soulful eyes. They penetrated mine, his long eyelashes framing his chiseled face. I chewed on that. Penetrated mine. Oopsies. Brain, where did you go? Where did you go? His long eyelashes framing his chiseled face perfectly. I didn't fight him when he yanked one arm over my head, then the other, the handsome man grinning the entire time. When he lowered his head, he made me wait. He'd pushed almost every envelope with me, turning into perhaps the most possessive man I'd ever met. When his lips were hovering over mine by a few centimeters, butterflies formed in my stomach. I was thrown with the crazed intensity of my attraction to him. I jutted my neck forward, able to brush my lips across his. Still, he held on to some sense of control for a few additional seconds, until it became painfully obvious we couldn't control ourselves. Mia Tuya, if I'm saying that correctly, thank you for following. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Until it became painfully obvious. Until it became, I lost my spot again, surprise. Until it became painfully obvious. Okay. There it is. Until it became painfully obvious we couldn't control ourselves. The kiss was even more explosive than before, and the one at the rink had blown my mind. His tongue slipped past my lips, dominating mine as it swept back and forth. Where I had never let anyone take the lead before, I was happy to see how he was going to handle the wild intimacy. Not with kid gloves. He had a uniquely manly scent, pine and saddle leather with a hint of vanilla. He was so masculine, every inch of him utter perfection. There's a loud vehicle driving by. Perfectly. You're doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Every inch of him utter perfection. I'd never seen a man so perfectly proportioned. The kiss was fiery, every ragged moan matching his deep growls. He tasted of whiskey and sin, an incredible combination that I wouldn't soon forget. Still lightheaded, our bodies hummed together as if stoked from a shot of current coming... Yeah, stoked. Jesus. Jesus! Courtney, welcome. I gotta make my script smaller. I can't find my spot in so many words! This is fucking with the stream. We'll go to right there. Perfection! Still lightheaded. Okay, I can't. Okay, I swear to God I can read. Wow. Ah, at the very bottom. Good Lord. Got it. Still lightheaded, our bodies hummed together as if stoked from a shot of current coming from a bolt of lightning. He was all over me, but I was doing the exact same, wiggling in his hold, trying to free my hands. The man was so strong, keeping my hands locked down. I grew frustrated, but there was no controlling him. When he finally pulled away, he cupped my chin with his other hand, peering down at me as if memorizing my features. With his chest heaving and his nostrils flaring, he appeared as a wild beast instead of a man. And I'd be damned if that didn't attract me even more. Maybe that's why I wrapped one leg around his, using my strong thigh muscle to drag his body closer to mine. Something, oopsies. Narrator can't read. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. It's rough out here some days. Okay. See something you want? Very. Oh my God, let's not say it. Look at weirdo! See something you want, fairy princess? Yeah, I do. Be careful. I might not be good for you. Don't worry. I know. Oopsies. My mouth made gross sounds. Don't worry. I know I'm not good for you. He cocked his head before letting go of my hands. A girl after my own black heart. We ripped at each other's clothes, half laughing, with me moaning and Danny growling as we tore off one piece after another. I ripped his shirt in 2 places, but he certainly didn't act as if he cared. When we were free of all hindrances, he took a step away, once again shaking his head, but this time ever so slowly, as if he'd just been given a prize. When he whistled, another set of vibrations clawed their way from... I added a whole word! When he whistled, another set of vibrations clawed their way deep within my core. My arousal was driving me crazy, so much so, I couldn't take it any longer. Oh fuck, I forgot to check the first layer on my print. Ha! Okay, we're gonna pause for a second. Holy shit, I better not have a fucking giant ball of fucking... What would it be? Pet G making a blob of death on my 3D printer. We'll give it a second, yeah. Thank you for being with me, by the way. Sorry that I fucking panicked when I remembered I didn't bring that up and take a look at it. Cardinal Sewell. Oh my god, Cardinal Rule. Number one, if you're 3D printing, at least watch the first layer. Okay, give me 1 second. We are not looking at Crimson Typhoon. We are looking at Gypsy Danger. Yes! We gravy, baby. We gravy. Gravy. Let's put you back here where you belong. Okay. Alright, I'm back. Oh my god. Well, here's the deal. If you take care of your 3D printers, they will take care of you. If you don't take care of your 3D printers, they will give you a task and a chore one day that you just have to clear the schedule and usually reach into your pocketbook for some parts. No, thank you. Okay. Oh, I forgot to post the whole. You should have seen the fucking look I gave at that thing as I walked by it today. It's sitting on my workbench. I just fucking glared at it. I realized, like, mid-glare. It was early morning. I was tired as shit. And I'm looking at it. I'm just like, you fucking fuck. I was so mad. Then it's not his fault, it's my fault. What happened was I should have pried the supports off with the tool like you're supposed to, but sometimes I'm like, ooh, big He-Man, and I just grab a big base of supports and I just give it the old, it's plastic. It's plastic, dumbass. It's fucking plastic. What happens when you, plastic? Fucking breaks a little bit. I mean, there's a chance that the supports were a little too binded to that surface area because I did increase the print speed and an experimental feature I thought was going to work flawlessly, but guess what? If you put those two together, you end up with broken Psyduck. Okay, now that we don't have to panic, I bring my stream back up. And here we go. Okay. We're feeling it in the core. Crazy. Okay. I definitely lost my place right now. My arousal. Well, there it is. My arousal was driving me crazy. So much so, I couldn't take it any longer. He sensed my condition, and this time when he pulled away, the look in his eyes had changed dramatically. Holy shit, I muttered, forced to take gasping breaths, even blinking several times to finally appreciate the hunk of a man I was staring at in front of me. Let's go. Okay. He wasn't just built with muscles to spare. He was sculpted from the gods. With every movement, the muscles in his forearms corded, the veins in his neck pulsing under his tanned skin. The man screamed of power in every way, including his barrel chest, giving way to a deep, penetrating V, sliding into thick thighs and a long... Oh, I might as well spit into the fucking listener's ear. Disgusting. Sorry. Trading V, sliding into thick thighs and a long torso. And the longest, thickest, ooh wee we gonna be mutant soon. Today is gonna be a bit of a mute day. It'll be fine. You're here for the raw energy. I'm trying to give it. Okay. Forget about my mouth watering. I was worried I was drooling, fascinated by my body's reaction to him. I was frozen stiff for a moment. The ink I'd caught a glimpse of was even more beautiful, art that ran up the length of his arm, curling over his shoulders with vines creeping up on one side of his neck. In the middle was a stunning bird, almost like a phoenix. The character suited him perfectly, warrior-like in every aspect. Then he dared touch me with the rough pads of his fingers. I was pulled into a beautiful moment of peace, but the concept was short-lived when, using a single finger, he rolled the tip down the side of my neck. All the while, That's not the fucking word, dude. You'll be lurking too. Gotta make calls. Do your thing. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to do great. Thank you. All the way he. And the way he continued to shake his head. Oh, hold on. There is a bit of a typo, and my brain did something weird with that 17 different times. All the while, he continued to shake his head. Was the man in disbelief we were standing here together? Yeah, that was right. Fucking idiot. Come on. Shaking his head. Was the man in disbelief we were standing here together in the middle of my dimly lit. Fucking what? Say the words. Was the man in disbelief we were standing here together in the middle of my dimly lit tiny foyer? Likely so. It was ridiculous to think we might have sex in the cramped space. Yet, I didn't want to move. I refused to brape with a P? I don't think that was a word. I refused to break the hypnotic connection. With his nostrils still flared, he rolled the finger between my breasts, the cords in his neck more pronounced than before. Here's what we're gonna do. I got a lot of words to say. I'm gonna mute you and hear some of my music, so enjoy until I get back. It's gonna be a long mute.
How can you tell when you're really in love? I wonder. Most people fall in love quite a few times.
What's up, Tilly? How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Here's the deal. It's a little bit spicy at the moment. Oh, is my Oh my god, my music froze. Hold on. Browser sauce. Sorry about this. This is supposed to be going on the whole time. Refresh current cache. There we go. You're off work today. Hell yeah. Well, here's the deal. Enjoy. Enjoy. I gotta mute again though. We are in the middle of it. Man, she's getting the boots. The boots are getting poured right now. As he headed into the kitchen, he chuckled low and throaty. It means we're christening the entire house. Ooh. I should be muted. Oh, I'm not muted. Nice. And thank you. That's the end of the chapter, so chill out. We're alright. Thank you, though. I do appreciate you. That was 11 that I forgot to rename. Well, bam. And duplicate. Put another track out there. We'll call it Chapter 12. Chapter 1, 2. Wha-bam. Do that. Wha-bam. Do that. Bring it on down now. Okay, now we be a really quiet guy.
Walking down the block with my fangs gleaming is a smile with my gang. Walk up on you now, I got that gleam. I'm looking crisp, slow, chain high, bang gleaming on my wrist. Got 'em screaming hell, problems over there, nothing to be scared. Well, you can catch me when I walk up on you. Know I got that gleam. Looking crisp, boots low, chain high, bang, gleaming, bang, gleaming, bang, gleaming on my wrist.
Good news. We can narrate this part. For a bit. Okay, so. That's why, over the generations of evolution, education, including controlled breathing exercises, had helped prepare a barrier for our wolves lurking below the surface. Once a shifter learned the art, through the years, the desire to shift occurred less and less. Tonight, oopsies, it's a question, doofies. Tonight, I'd had the desire to shift, not once, but twice. What in the hell was the reason? Exasperation had almost settled in. What I needed to do at this point was to fill her with my seed. Maybe then I'd manage to calm the fuck down. I'd always had a little hot streak underneath. We shall wait for the loudest vehicle to drive by. It shook. It shook the floor when it drove by. My feet did some vibration, some good vibrations. It was lovely. Oh, my back. Okay, here we go. I'd always had a little hot streak on. Fuck, and then I hit my goddamn thing. I'd always had a little hot streak underneath. The kind that teachers hated. Voice, are you going to join me? Are you going to join me today? Do you like my ears? My head's cold, but I need to hear things clearly. I'd always had a little hot streak underneath. The kind that teachers hated and the pack elders tried desperately to corral over the years. Same as with Saint. We came from a long line of hotheads. Purebred wolves were usually the worst. We were also told that the brutal heat simmering in our system also made us passionate lovers. I'd gone from wanting to rip the asshole. Oopsies. Bro, is there a NASCAR drive-by going on outside? What is happening? What is happening? I'd gone from wanting to rip apart the asshole who dared touch her to feeling a level of desire that I hadn't known existed. But even now, I could still see the way he touched her, and he touched her, and I'd been able to read his filthy thoughts and what he had intended for her. Hell no. Wow. 3D print, how you doing? Okay. Yep, doing great. Cool. Hell no. He was lucky all I'd done was break a couple of bones in his hand. 2 more minutes, and I would have ripped out his jugular without so much as thinking about the consequences. We're kidding, TikTok. We're reading a book. Internet mods, or our great AI overlords that listen to everything I say and ban me for saying fight scenes. I really didn't mean any of that. It is just a book. It is not real. No violence intended. I gotta mute. He's getting meaner. We did it. Okay, no touchy, no touchy. Why had I chosen a fucking sleazy bar in the heart of a bad part? Why had I chosen a fucking sleazy bar in the heart of a bad part of town? Why had I chosen a fucking sleazy bar in the heart of a bad part of fuck? What? Why did I and then I lose my spot? What? Why had I chosen a fucking sleazy bar in the heart of a bad part of town? So there wasn't a chance at being recognized as a hockey player or as a shifter. That much I had accomplished. Thankfully, the reporters had grown bored and had left before we had. At least one saving grace. My primal bloodline was likely why I couldn't seem to get enough of the fairy princess. Not the bop-boop bop. Beep. Now that we were in the kitchen, we were at the point of hunger that needed no explanation. I was crazed with the level of hunger that kept me from thinking clearly. We were both sweaty, our breathing labored. Christine was a wild child, more so than I'd originally thought. Here I'd seen her prim and proper. Here I'd seen her as a prim and proper girl at first, and she'd proven me wrong. Now she was toying with me, acting as if what we were enjoying was all a game. I had to admit that I was having a good time. Obviously, so was she, or she wouldn't be moving from one side of the kitchen table to the other. I also had to admit that while foreplay was often overrated, and I'd already had my "we're gonna mute for a while"
See nothing less.